Welcome to the Charleston CFO Council. This organization was co-founded in 2015 by Robert Bendetti and Mark Carmichael in order to provide a networking and educational forum for senior financial executives to share best practices, to discuss current financial issues, and to learn about current topics related to the performance of their job.
Grech, good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Doing great. Good morning.
Thanks for doing this. This is fantastic. You look fantastic.
Thank you, man. You as well. I like the green
And
shirt.
I like the painting in the background. Tell me about that. That's the Citadel, obviously.
Yeah, so graduated from Citadel in '88. So when I moved into our new offices up here, they allowed us to pick some of our own artwork. So I picked the Citadel. So I like to use it as my background in these video shots.
Very cool. Well, Joe Grech is the CFO at the South Carolina Federal Credit Union. As you can tell, he got his undergrad from the Citadel in business management. I think he also got an MBA in finance from the University of South Carolina.
That's correct.
You are a CPA, and I don't know what this is, a CCU executive?
Yeah, so it's an industry designation for Certified Credit Union Executive. So thank you very much.
Nice.
Nice talking. I appreciate it.
I also, to further stalk you, I saw a bunch of cool activity in the community. You're very active as a community leader, married with 3 kids, a lovely wife. Somehow you convinced a very beautiful woman to marry you. It must have been very early when you were more handsome than you are now.
Yes.
But something interesting that I know about you that I bet a lot of people don't know is that you are just as addicted to cars as I am. You are a huge car guy, and you like to take your car out on the racetrack.
Absolutely. So I know we've done a couple of events together, and it is a passion of mine. And I guess for 2 accountants who like to keep everything between the lines, it lets off a little bit of steam to get out there on track and open those cars up a little bit.
Amen, brother. Amen. Well, let's get into this question number 1. Joe, what is your favorite business book and why?
Okay. It's one I read a couple years ago. It's called The Ideal Team Player by Pat Liccioni. Great book. I'll save you the 200 pages and give you the synopsis version here. Basically, he identifies 3 virtues he calls out for an ideal team player, and they are humble. He says if you want to be a team player, you can't have a big ego. It just doesn't work. Second thing he says, you got to be hungry. He said, you've got to be self-motivated. So he talks about how people who are team players can work within a team but are committed to the team and are self-motivated to be part of the team. And then finally, he talks about being smart. And I thought this was really interesting. When he refers to smart, a lot of us always think about our technical expertise or how good we're at doing our widget job we have in front of us. But it's really talking about being smart with people. Understanding people and how to work with the group dynamics. So great book. I've used a lot of stuff out of it and find it of great interest.
Great, cool. I've read some of his books. I don't think I've read that one. So I'm gonna. I think I just got the Cliff Notes. You saved me $10. Thank you, sir.
There you go, man. $19.95. You're saved.
Question number 2. What is the best advice you have ever received?
Yeah, I struggle on this one a lot because sometimes it's hard for me to remember any one particular item. But I would say when I thought back, one of the challenging things I always find is when you're trying to hire somebody new. And when I was a younger manager, I was trying to hire a staff accountant position. And there were several qualified candidates. So I'd ask my manager, it's like, I don't know how to decide. I mean, this person's better at this person's better at that. And they gave me the advice that said, if they're all qualified to do the job, hire the one that has the most integrity and the most passion. And I think that's been great advice as I kind of moved through my career. Because you can teach almost anything as long as they have the basic skill set, but you can't instill integrity and you can't instill passion in somebody. So I think that was great insight and something that I've valued ever since then. So.
Amen. Good. Question number 3. What is a new habit that you recently picked up, or maybe a new tool that you recently started using that you have found beneficial?
Well, this one's an easy one. 6 weeks ago, I couldn't tell you what Zoom was, and now I live by it every day. So I am on Zoom calls almost constantly now, as probably most of us are. So but I find it fascinating that nobody knew what it was, and now everybody uses it. So, and I had the opportunity last week to do my first class where I teach high potential employees. and was an instructor on Zoom. So as opposed to just being a participant, to actually lead a course using the Zoom and people raising their hands and asking questions and whatnot, and it really worked well. I still prefer the in-person, but amazingly, it worked really, really well. So love the tool. I'm sure most of your people are using it out there now, but just thought it was fascinating how we've kind of moved so quickly to be able to do stuff remotely.
Yeah, it's amazing the tools, just the stuff that I have. Heck, this high-powered video camera that I'm on right now. I would have never 2 months ago thought I needed to go out and buy a tripod and a nice camera with a mic that can hear me. And then now, boom, it's like a brave new world. So that's cool that you're an innovator and you're a thought leader teaching the high potentials at your company. That's very cool, Joe.
Thanks, man.
Question number 4. What is the best part of your job at South Carolina Federal Credit Union other than the volunteer advisors, which I have heard are amazing? The volunteer advisors of the board, I heard they are just heavy hitters, amazing individuals.
Right. The knowledge I gained from volunteer advisors like Robert Bendetti are awesome. No, I'd say the best part of my job by far is I work with a senior management group of outstanding individuals that are truly the best at what they do, and we are able to work collaboratively in a great environment, and I just couldn't be happier about that. I think we've all had jobs where it might have been a great location, it might have been great money, but if it wasn't the right team, it just wasn't really worthwhile. So love the fact we got a great team of people, everybody supports each other, and they're really good at what they do. So couldn't be happier.
Question number 5. What is something personal that maybe we don't know about you that you'd be willing to share?
Well, I guess, obviously, I love cars and going out on tracks. We talked about that already. The other thing I like to do is love to go boating. As my kids have gotten older, I've got them from 24 to 17 right now. Having them hang out with mom and dad on a boat is something we can get everybody to do together, and it's a great time. We've always enjoyed it. From the time I was a little kid, I had a boat, and always enjoy it, and having the family there together is just awesome. So that's what we love to do when I'm not messing with cars or watching racing on TV.
Question number 6. Last question. It happened so fast. What is something that I didn't ask that I should have asked, and what is your answer to that?
Well, I thought about this one a little bit. For me, having everybody else talk about what is everybody else doing in today's environment, right? So as a CFO, obviously we're focused on the numbers and the bottom line, and everybody's adjusting to try to mitigate the impacts of that. But in our organization, one of the things I'm really trying to concentrate on is the communication side. So I think it's so important that we kind of reach out to the employees and make sure that they understand what's happening, and really be very honest with them about the situation we're in, kind of what's happening, but also be positive, right? And I don't mean Pollyanna, but to be positive in the thoughts we have about what actions we're taking today and how they'll make tomorrow a better situation. So spend a lot of time doing that. I shoot a quarterly video for the staff on not only the past performance for the quarter, but really forward thinking, telling them what's going to happen or what we think is going to happen the next quarter and actually through the rest of the year, to kind of provide them some framework to what to expect, because without the absence of information, people will make up their own and start rumors and stuff like that. So it's very, very important that we are constantly communicating and repeating that communication, because I think it's always hard. You say, we may talk about it once or twice here, but people need to hear it repeatedly to have it sink in. So spend a lot of time working on that here, and I think it's critical as we kind of move through this event we got going on right now. So.
That's good. That's a call to action for all of us, that we should be doing something similar to communicate with the team about what's already happened, but importantly, like you said, what is a reasonable forecast into the future, because people will they heard something, they heard from somebody who heard it from somebody who heard it from somebody, if they don't hear it directly from us. That's really good.
Yeah, and I think it's really important that, like I said, it's honest. You don't have to have all the answers either. You can say, here's what we think is going to happen. these are the steps we're taking, but realize that, we have to be flexible. We have to be able to move and pivot as needed. So, but that's what I had.
Great job, Joe. That was awesome. And I love that book recommendation and your quotes. I know you well, and I found you to be humble and to be hungry and smart. So I think you absorbed a lot that was in that book. And something that I could work on. 1 out of 3. How's 1 out of 3? Is that okay, or do I need to work on it?
Good. You're good.
Okay. Whew. All right. Well, great. Well, thank you for doing this, Joe.
Hey, thanks so much, Robert. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.